Thinking in clarity time. If you're a CEO, this is genuinely your highest and best use. And unfortunately, it's a skill that a lot of senior leaders, well, they aren't very good at. But we're going to talk about how you can become better and why it's important.
As entrepreneurs and business owners, we know that if we have a clear plan, anything becomes possible. And if you can have a clear plan, a clear process to create that plan, and a way to create clarity with your partner or spouse, you can drive to amazing heights.
All right, so when we talk about clarity time, people are like, what do you mean, dude? Thinking? I think all the time. I go, I'm exhausted. I don't have time thinking more. Well, actually, as a senior leader, making sure that you invest the time and energy to elevate up, let go of some of those things that you could be doing, but that you probably shouldn't be doing, and investing the time and energy to think is important. So think of it this way. If you've ever stood in the shower for just an extra 2 minutes and just let that hot water roll over the top of your head, and you're like, bing, oh my goodness. If I do this, well, I can make this change over here and I can move this person there. We can do this and it solves that problem. That is what I'm talking about. I believe our subconscious is probably our most powerful tool. And it's one that we abuse the most because, well, the skills that it took for us to get where we are in life, most likely you've had to put your head down and work like an SOB, hard, head down, working. And this is where transitioning to get to that next state, where you actually can empower yourself to start thinking, working less, thinking more, becomes your highest and best use. I remember I had a gentleman years ago working for a massive multi-billion-dollar foundation, and he came in and he literally came in and he plopped down in my office, across from the desk from me, first meeting. He's like, okay, well, I'm here. I'm like, okay, what's up, man? Why? He goes, well, so-and-so said I should talk to you. And we started. And through that process, this person is just a wonderful human and really, really smart. But he had grown up sort of the farm lifestyle and had been all about working. So we started with something very, very simple, with the idea that A, when you're driving, don't turn your radio on. Sounds silly, but that gave him a little bit of extra time. He happened to commute in from the country. The two action items when he walked away from that were, one, have a date that was quality time with his wife where he did not have his phone, and two, that he just drive without the radio, without any noise on, not listening to anything, not working, not talking, and just let that process happen. And it was a really wonderful thing. About a year later, we'd been doing strategy work, and he pulled me aside. He said, Kris, I really want to thank you. You actually taught me how to think this year. And I didn't do anything. He did all the work. But what he did was that he was willing to give himself the permission to not have to be busy and actually allow his subconscious to start solving those solutions and step up and let him actually answer the questions and provide the space that he needed to process it. That's what I mean by clarity time and thinking time. It's something that people genuinely aren't necessarily very good at. But as an example, if you look at, if you've ever seen any videos or stories of Warren Buffett's calendar, he carries a little 3x5, not even that big, probably 2x3 in his back pocket, pulls it out, and he'll show you his calendar. He has almost nothing. Oh, I've got a haircut on Thursday. But what he's doing is he's investing a tremendous amount of time reading and thinking and leaning into that. In some cases, I've seen where Einstein, one of the most brilliant figures on the planet, he gets stuck. So he'd go lay down on the floor and just stare at the ceiling, just to let his mind work, go for long walks on the beach. We live in such a time of noise and confusion that if you can start figuring out how to do this better, it becomes highest and best use. For me, I find great value in going for a 4 or 5 hour hike by myself. I think it's highest and best use. I used to think it was selfish as hell. But now when I'm working through that, the ideas, the concepts, the problems I can help solve for my clients, for myself, it's absolutely extraordinary. It allows you to start looking at your people differently. It allows you to look at your resources and the processes that you're doing differently. And this becomes genuinely highest and best use. So Ideally, you found some value with this. If you did, and you're one of those CEOs who's like, yeah, dude, I know it's there, man. I know I've got that in me. I'm stuck, or I'm having some challenges getting over that hump. Fair enough. Having that self-awareness is the first step, and it's massive. And if I can be of any value, please don't be afraid of reaching out. Love to talk to you. Keep smiling.